Had a couple stops on the road today. This one right here was riding on their horse, shooting people off their horses. So went ahead and killed them a few times, helping out the Greythorn person and everybody else who they were bugging. And then right here we had a Sork try to kill me. They were chasing me around for a while, and I was fighting them. Luckily I had my good old witch with me. That's what guildies are for. And we chased them into a river and killed him, and I got to watch him drown, so that was a lot of fun. So there's some pretty good tips at the very end of the video for you guys too, so I hope you enjoy those. Alright guys, here we are at Gyfin Rossian Temple, and I'm going to show you guys how to grind here. So normally DPS, there's two rules. There's DPS, and then there's pooling. Currently I am pooling because I have a block, and I have a lot of evasion buffs that I can pop as well, that can help me survive if I ever get caught out, as well as a few iframes that can really get me out of the mess. But I'll teach you guys exactly what to do. There's two types of pulling in terms of a puller. DPS, it's really easy. You just wait until the pullers have a big group and then you come in and deal damage. So, and then you kill statues whenever you can, and I'll show you that in a second. But if you're pulling, basically there's a left and there's a right. Right now we're pulling on the right, and so this is the very top of the rotation on the stairs from what you just saw earlier. DPS is going to kill these statues, as you can see, while you go ahead and start pulling, so you get more money that way. So if you're going right, you just come around here. I just take a long route just because it gives the person pulling over there a little bit more time. But you just want to make sure that you don't want to lose aggro with the mobs. You want to walk slow and really take your time so you're not losing them. And then when you're pulling, you want to cross paths with the person who's pulling on the left, so the mobs group up really nice and tight, because that's what's going to kill them all fastest, obviously, and we're able to do a lot of damage to them. Now, along with killing mobs as fast as you can, you want to make sure that you're using abilities that debuff mobs. Okay, so for example, Ninja has an ability called Ankle Cutter, and if I perform that, then it's a minus 20 DP on an enemy. So I want to make sure I use that as often as I can. Basically, you want to min-max as much as possible in order to kill these mobs in a timely manner. If a mob is less than 50% of health, then go ahead, spend the time, and kill it with your party. If the mob, like if there's one straggler that's left, has more than 50% health, then just move on and keep it going. Because speed is the name of the game here. The faster you do this, then the more you're going to be able to make money and the more experience you're going to get as well. So notice here I'm just moving back and forth, I'm dodging hits, I'm making sure that they get completely aggro to me. And they start running, see, there we go. So I'll just run over here and we group them up right on top of the tower here. Now you want to run as much damage as you possibly can when you're doing these. So definitely run the Kama meal, which gives back attack damage. Then there's potions that give back attack damage, and I'll go over the potions here in a second after this pool. And any Valencia meal is extremely good. And then Jungle of Hamburg is very good as well. So make sure you get all those. Obviously you want to watch your health out. You will die here, I guarantee it, at least one time. Everybody does. It's kind of like a rite of passage. You gotta really be careful and stay aware about what you're doing and where the mobs are at. So there's the right on that. DPS is gonna go kill some, we're all gonna kill some statues. Get some extra gold, make it really fast. DPS gets a little bit more money. Luckily, the left pull takes a little longer, so I can get away with going over there. So this one's tricky. You want to get these over here. And then this one should be waking up by the time I get here. And then make sure this doesn't de-aggro either. So looks like they're all aggroed. So we just move back. Oh. I'm going to get hit pretty hard here. No? Okay. So then you just move back and group up. Just iframe out. There we go. That one's a little bit sloppy. That's on me. But as you can see here, they're all grouped, and then we have one straggler right there. So keep moving and help out anybody who needs help. If you see somebody getting like knocked on the ground or taking a lot of damage, try to get in front of them and hold your block out and just kind of take some aggro away. Or do like an ability that does a lot of damage so you can steal some aggro. You want to help each other out. Nobody wants to die here and lose crystals and whatnot. And as you can see in the lower left hand corner, those are all the elixirs that we're using. You want to use elixirs, you want to use food buffs, you want to go just the full 9 yards, everything you possibly can on this. And as you can see on the bottom of the screen where my buff bar is, you can tell all the elixirs that we have going on as well. And you can look up all these elixirs on the market. So I'm going to do the right pull one more time. This is the top of the rotation. So I'm going to pull right here. Make sure they all wake up. You can all do it your own ways, finickle it however you want, whatever gets all the mobs aggro to you the best. And then just bring them on up to right here. See, she just fell down, so I'm just going to stand here and block for her. Take some damage away. Yeah, this gets kind of hectic right here. Once you see the DPS move in, that's when we go. There we go, DPS is in now. You can tell them on my mini-map. They kind of took their time on this one, it's okay. No group is going to be perfect until you've been running this with them for a long time. Alrighty. Cool. And then here in a second, I'll show you guys how to pull on the left side. And remember, this was the right side that you saw this whole time. Cast AoEs, cast debuffs, and help each other out. And make sure you're pumping out those elixirs at all times. And obviously, very, very obviously, you want to make sure that you have a Kudum as well. Bare minimum a Tri-Kudum. And then you can also get the buff from the tent that essentially upgrades your Kudum to Tet. If you already have a Tet Kudum, then it gets it up to close to Pen. The Tet buff gives extra damage to mobs, so it's extremely nice. And it's fairly cheap, especially if you're going to be grinding here. Alright, so check back in with you guys in a second. Alright, now we're going to be pulling left side. So I'll show you guys left side. You want to go around, don't go straight through the middle. You want to go around like the route that you just saw me take. I'm a little bit late because I was going to hit record. So she's already there. So I'm just going to grab these and walk my way down. And you just go to the same spot. Oh, okay. See, just hop in front and throw up a block, help them out. And then you get the hell out too. So. And this is going to be a little bit sloppy. Like I said, this is just a group thrown together. I wanted to show you guys and whatnot. Plus I haven't guarded here in a little bit. So disclaimer, it's going to be a lot more clean once you refine it. This is a very rough guide. And on the spot as well. That's kind of like what I do anyway, so it works out. Just keep up with the debuffs and help your teammates out. And make sure you're on top of the potions and food buff rotation. Obviously make sure you're geared too. If you're not geared enough for here, you're just hurting yourself and everybody else. There's no point. You're better off grinding other places if you're not geared enough for here. So, let's kill this last one. We'll jump a shame. Alright, cool. So DPS is going to be killing statues so they can get more money, which is good. And then you can go, pullers can go up there once they do their pull and whatnot. Like I said, once you get into a groove, you get into a groove and you'll know. So I'm making sure I have everything aggroed. I don't want anything to de-aggro. And then just slowly walk back. Cross paths with the other person. And just hold up block. And don't get knocked down. There we are. Not super tight, but close. But yeah, I really love it here. For endgame, it's a lot of fun. It actually gives grinding a challenge, and the money and experience is very much worth it. And I strongly suggest if you have over 225 to 230 AP with a Kudum, then you should definitely be trying to get into a solid group here. It's very, very nice. Personally, I believe, at least. Oh yeah, you definitely want to watch out for the flaming ones. The wizards are the ones that are going to kill you the most because of their consecutive hits. So left side on this one is really, really easy. You just say hey to this guy. What's up, dude? You don't need to spend that much time there. Just slowly walk back and then wake everybody else up over here. And just kind of hang out right on top of the tower. And DPS should be moving in right now. And you can see the flame archer shooting me. The wizard, whatever you want to call it. The flamin'. And you don't want to go too far out of the way if you're trying to dodge mobs, because you don't want them to like aggro onto you and they start following you away from the group. You want to try to stay in a close ball as much as possible, so all the AoEs damage and do their thing. This next pool is probably just the most complicated out of the all the other pools. It's really easy to mess up, so just you gotta be careful with it. Alright, so wake this one up. We'll wake her up down here. Go at the doorway, wake them up. And then come back up fast enough to where you can re-aggro all that. And then get down fast enough to where you can aggro them. And then come right up the side here. You don't need a double jump, any class can jump. Just jump and climb and get up here. And then they should all come. Yep. Ah, I lost aggro on one, that's my fault. You want to stay a little bit more closer to the edge, like right about here. So I lost one, and that's my bad. And that really hurts the party, so just make sure you correct yourself and do it right the next time. Because I'm not here to waste anybody's time. And that's it. That's really everything. And like I said, the elixirs in the lower left hand corner, just look those up on the marketplace. And yeah, it's a really, really good place to grind, and it's a really fun end game. So thanks for watching. So some final takeaways from Gyfin is the bare absolute minimum money that you're gonna make an hour there is 15 mil, bare minimum. So, and that's honestly pretty good, especially for the amount of experience that you're getting at levels 60 and to 61 as well, 61 to 62. So just make sure that you have the elixirs. All of the moves that you should use as many lifesteal moves and cycle between blocking and super armor the whole time. The only reason why I'm able to stay alive is because every single move and ability that I use has a super armor or a frontal block. You know, I use all of those. So, I mean, all of these have either super armor or frontal block that I use. The only one that I use that doesn't have super armor, for the most part, is Cerberus Ascension. But I have to use that because it's what deals the most damage. So, but other than that, I strongly suggest giving it a try if you have the gear. The gear score, or I mean AP, I mean DP is on you. You can go with whatever DP you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. But AP, bare absolute minimum, 225 AP with a Kudum, if you really, really want to actually grind there and not, you know, lose out on money. So, but I strongly suggest it. It's a lot of fun, and I hope I taught you guys something. Also, one thing I wanted to point out to you guys is if you get these durability crystals for your main weapon and put them on there on your gatherer, then you will your gathering tools will last a little bit longer. So try to get those on a random weapon or whatever on your life skiller or the characters that you gather most on. And also, if you're going to log out of the game, or go AFK rather, from cooking or processing, the way to use the least amount of processing power and for your computer is to put it into window mode and hit apply. Okay, now that you're in window mode, press F3 and go to the shop and pick your favorite wallpaper or floor. Pick something nice, whatever you want. It can be anything. And then you go up here to the top where you minimize the window. So you click that, and then you send it to Trey, and you'll see a huge difference in how much your computer uses BDO as you minimize it. So if I'm going to be AFK for a long time, that's what I do, and that uses a lot less power for your computer and stuff like that. So keep that in mind.